It's a really sexy drink.
This Dijonnaise changed my life.
It is a really, really great riff on a classic.
It does everything right.
Girl dinner.
Girl dinner.
Boar's banquet and a shot of bourbon.
I'll order dessert anywhere I please.
I guarantee you this is one of the most ordered things here.
The volume is incredible.
A great bar needs a great burger.
I didn't know what I was missing.
Mini or a full size?
I love bananas.
I know you do, honey.
Hi everyone, welcome to AftertasteLA, the podcast that brings you candid restaurant reviews every other week. I'm Nicole.
I'm Vlad.
And this week we'll be discussing our visit to Vandell.
Oh man, I've been so excited about this place. I can't wait to talk about it. They've been open 4 months. They're already number 68 on the best bars of North America. One of my industry friends told me about it, that their friends were going to be opening up this place, and it was going to be really, really good drinks, really relaxed setting, a real like neighborhood bar. And they have nailed it.
Historically, LA has not had a ton of representation, or much, really any, on the best bars North America list. So it's very exciting to have a new one debut and to debut as high as it is.
They've taken a lot of inspiration from some of the places that are featured on that list, the top 50 list, like New York, Japan, Hong Kong, Mexico City. These are places where cocktail bars are spending as much thought and time and effort and prep into the drinks as a chef would a dish on a menu. So the way that they've curated this menu is very similar to how a chef approaches. You have some classics, you have some stuff that's kind of market fresh and using the best of the ingredients that you have available to you. They're doing all of those things, but it's with drinks. So let's get right into it and talk about all the stuff that we had. We've been a few times and we've had a lot of the menu. We're going to talk about our favorites. First thing, I think one of their top sellers that I really love, my favorite drink on the menu, is the smoked tomato. It has mezcal, smoked tomato, chili, lime, galangal, lemongrass. It is a perfect ripe tomato on a hot summer day. It drinks really savory and super complex in its flavor profile. It takes 3 days to make this drink, we asked, and they kind of like smoke tomatoes and clarify it and make this elixir with all the different aromatics. It is really, really delicious drink and super unique. I don't think there's anything quite like it in LA, and it really shows their strength of creativity.
Even just using the galangal, I love galangal. I think it's a super cool flavor, and you never see that in a drink. You barely see that in food.
Yeah.
Really, really delicious. And, I enjoyed this drink and a lot of these drinks as I never would have thought of that. Like, I'll tell you 100,000% never would have thought of adding this to this kind of drink.
Yeah, it drinks almost like a meal or some sort of savory thing. If you don't like savory drinks, it's probably not for you, but don't worry, there's plenty of other things on the menu that you'll find. This is just my favorite, and I usually don't like a salt rim. They do this kind of half salt rim with this really nice chili like salt, and it's really delicious.
I've had other versions of this drink, and this one was head and shoulders over the others.
Okay, so the smoked tomato was my favorite drink. What's your favorite drink?
My favorite is the Poet's Dream. Now, the Poet's Dream is kind of a classic cocktail. It's been around for almost a century, as far as we know, maybe earlier. And it's kind of a martini adjacent kind of drink. The three main elements of it traditionally are gin, Benedictine, and dry vermouth. They've really broken this down very precisely. You can read about it in an article that came out on Punch, where they talk about all of the liquors that they chose, and it's very specific which ones that they put into this drink, which I thought was really cool and really interesting to learn about. And the one element that they've kind of added to this drink to make it their own is this quince liqueur. It's a little bit floral, a little bit sweet, but still not, because at the end of the day, this is like almost a martini.
It was featured in this article, which we are going to link down in the description. Solid drink. I think it is a really, really great riff on a classic.
Yeah, and it retains its identity as that drink while still being something new. I think this is something I see happening a lot at bars where they're trying to do something new, and I really do respect that, but they just try and do too many things to it. Here, they've really drilled down into what kind of gin, what kind of dry vermouth, what is one element that's going to make these normal, regular elements in there sing.
Yeah, this is a very similar approach to how a chef would approach a classic dish. Use the best ingredients you have and let them shine. Pay homage, add your own twist to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what this drink is.
Mm-hmm.
Next, I want to talk about the martinis on offer at Vandell because they have an olive martini and the Vandell martini. What I love about the martinis is you can order a mini or a full size. So $9 for a mini, $16 for a full size. I'm seeing this more often in bars and restaurants, and I am here for it. I do not always want a full martini. And with this scenario, I can try both martinis, and then I can decide which one I want to order a full-size version of.
Yeah.
So I usually love a gin martini. But of the two martinis at Vandell, the olive martini is the one that's for me. So the olive martini is their kind of dirty martini riff. It has vodka and then this smoked olive yuzu brine, shiokoji, and then an anchovy stuffed olive. This thing is delicious. The smoked olive, shiokoji, the yuzu, it's so delicious. It almost has like a dashi-like quality to it. Another really, really savory drink, actually. But this is probably my favorite vodka martini that I've had in LA, maybe anywhere. It's delicious. No knock on the classic Vandell gin martini, which is really, really delicious. Comes really, really cold and crisp and clean. But the olive one just blew me away. I thought it was super, super unique take.
Yeah, I thought they were both delicious. I love olives. Don't always love a dirty martini. I find a lot of times they go way too ham with the dirty. This was perfect. Every ratio on the nose. So cold, so refreshing. Umami flavors, salty flavors, delicious.
Anyone that takes a sip of this, the first reaction is, whoa. It's just like, I have not had a martini quite like this, and I love it. Also perfect with French fries.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute. If you want that quintessential French fries and martini experience, this is the place for that. Girl dinner.
Girl dinner. They also have a Caesar if you're into that.
Boom. What more do you need?
Nothing. Speaking of martinis, let me tell you about my Vesper Lynd. Before I talk about this drink itself, I'd like to talk about the topic of the Vesper Martini. For anyone who may not know, the Vesper Martini was created by Ian Fleming in Casino Royale, his first James Bond novel. Here's the thing about a Vesper. One of the central ingredients is no longer made. The formulation has changed. You cannot find the same liquor that James Bond was drinking. So that means any bar today that has a Vesper cocktail on the menu, it's not really. Maybe it's inspired by, maybe it's a riff on, maybe they're trying to get it as close as possible, but at the end of the day, that's not really what it is. So this drink at this bar, they called it the Vesper Lynd, which is the name of the character from Casino Royale. And I really appreciate that because it tells me that they know that this is not really a Vesper. However, it is definitely inspired by the character. It's inspired by the story of Casino Royale and James Bond, and they are giving their nod to that and then doing their own thing for it. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a really sexy drink. The way it's presented, a little bit rosy with a little flower on top. It is a little bit floral. So you should note that if you are not into any kind of floral drinks, I would avoid it.
They've also added rhubarb syrup, a very small amount. It's also like a tinge of pinkish red, which, spoilers, she dies. So I think that's
No
kind of
spoilers.
I think that's kind of fun,
Why you gotta spoil it?
Well, first of all, the book came out 60 years, 70 years
guess.
ago, and it's been adapted for the screen twice. And the last time was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So
I'm more of a purist when it comes to the martini, so I love a classic over a Vesper. I don't order them that often, and I think the Poet's Dream is just a tad better than the Vesper.
yeah, well, I did say the Poet's Dream was my favorite for a reason.
For sure.
I just want to commend them on their play on a Vesper.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really smart take. Before I talk about my next favorite drink here, I really want to give them a shout out to putting something on the menu called the Family Tradition, which is just a Coors Banquet and a shot of bourbon. It's $12. Any bar that has a shot and a beer on the menu specifically is for the people. And I appreciate them because even if you go to this place and you bring your fancy friends that want to try the fancy drinks, but you got that one friend who just wants a shot and a beer, they can have a shot and a beer and be in a judgment-free zone. And I just love that. And I order it almost every time I go. Why not?
Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. I'm happy that you're happy.
I'm happy that this makes a lot of people happy. I guarantee you this is one of the most ordered things here. But anyways, let's talk about their riff on the Old Fashioned, which is a winter melon Old Fashioned. They have rye whiskey and Japanese whiskey, and then they make a winter melon tea, which they infuse some walnut bitters and coconut. Really interesting take on an Old Fashioned. First and foremost, it's a really, really well-made Old Fashioned, and the winter melon element is such an interesting and complex sweet addition that you don't normally see, and then the coconut kind of adds that aroma. It's a really fun take on an Old Fashioned.
The winter melon flavor is somehow both subtle but also strong. I think maybe because it's in that tea form, so it's really like melding with everything really nicely. I don't know, I guess just the combination of flavors just really melds together very nicely.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Old Fashions, this is a really, really good version, and I highly encourage you to order it. I also really loved the mouthfeel of this drink. I just really drank smooth, and you could kind of chug it down, which is a dangerous thing for an Old Fashioned. You do not want to be chugging down Old Fashions. Or maybe you do. Right in the middle of our time there, we just got presented with these two little shots that are adorable, little rosy shots, that they're calling Jello Shots. And just a really kind of nice, like, welcome, hello, this is who we are, welcome to the neighborhood.
They are made from basically like all the little odds and ends and leftovers of making other drinks previously in that like week. So lots of citrus juices, like 10 different types, some wines, stuff like that. And then they basically add gelatin to it. And it doesn't come out like one of those bouncy Jello shots from college. It's more of like a colloidal substance. I can't think of a better way to put it, where it's a little bit solid but mostly liquid, and it just goes down really nicely. And the ones that we've had were really, really tart, though they were also really, really sweet. And they come in tiny shot glasses. I mean, they're adorable. They're little like shot goblets, really. I would not be able to have more than one because they are so tart and because they are so sweet, but one is delicious. It's incredible. It tastes really good.
Yeah, it's a good way to reset too. It kind of is a palate cleanser almost with all that citrus.
Yeah, it definitely is.
And we haven't gotten it every single time. It's kind of, I guess, based on availability because they're using leftover ingredients. Maybe they run out at the end of the night. Who knows? But either way, it was a really nice touch.
So we've talked about a lot of spirit-forward drinks, but the whole first section of the menu is fruit-forward, really.
Yeah, it's called Market Fresh.
Market Fresh. First one that I had was the Pandan, which has rum, pandan, coconut milk, green tea, winter spices, and citrus. This was a super interesting drink. I mean, gorgeous green color. It looks amazing to the eye when it hits the table, just very exciting. So it's like a clarified coconut milk punch with rum and obviously pandan in there.
This drink is really surprising. You take a sip, you're like, whoa, coconut and rum, and it almost feels tropical, and it's super neon green colored, and it almost drinks like a dessert.
The clarified coconut milk just gives it a really nice feel as you drink it. Very, very smooth, a little bit thicker than like a regular, drink.
I thought it was really creative. I think it's something that more LA bars need to do. You're making a cocktail that's inspired by food. Anytime I see a cocktail that is inspired by food or specific flavors, it's always fun to order and see how well they did. How it really reminds me of the things they're doing in New York that are great. So this drink, not my favorite drink on the menu. I think it's a little sweet for me, but the creativity level is high and I really appreciate it. I think anyone that likes a sweeter drink and wants to try something fun and playful, this is it. If you like this video and want more unfiltered takes on LA's dining scene, hit the subscribe button and follow us on our main channel or find us on socials at AftertasteLA. The Market Fresh section of this menu is a lot of different fruits. So there's banana and blood orange and raspberry and mango and green pepper. It's really cool. You just order a fruit or a vegetable as your drink. So I love banana. I love banana a lot. And I have ordered this drink a few times. And it actually has been different a little bit each time. Partially because the bananas are different. They're using a different batch each week. So the ripeness of it will determine the sweetness and the overall banana intensity. It has white miso and it has puffed rice chai and bourbon. It is delicious. It kind of drinks almost like an old fashioned, really, really boozy and spirit forward, but really banana, like really intense banana flavor. And the better and more ripe the bananas they use are, the more intense this drink gets.
I love this drink. I think it's super fun. It's kind of classic banana combos, but also not at the same time. Yeah, I love the miso element.
Miso and banana are such a great combination.
So smart. It really like the sodium and the it brings umami out of banana, which is not something you think of as having umami, but somehow with the combination, it has umami.
Quick chef cooking pro tip. If you are making banana bread, put about a tablespoon of white miso into the mix, the batter. It really adds this umami and brings out the banana flavor much more. Gives you this depth that you're kind of like, you don't really know where it's coming from, but you're like, wow, this is different than any banana bread I've ever had. So use more miso in your cooking. Yeah, this is a great drink. It's very banana forward. If you love banana, 100% order this. If you don't like banana, I don't know what's wrong with you. I've met a few people that don't like banana. I'm like, how can you hate bananas?
I love bananas.
I know you do, honey.
So the last drink that we're going to talk about is the mango. So the mango has scotch, mango eau de vie, sauternes, and central green tea. This was lovely. This is like the sun on a hot summer's day. This is something you want to be sipping and cooling off. Their choices to put in the green tea and the eau de vie and the sauternes is just so smart because all of those things are imparting flavor and they're not watering it down. I loved this. It was sweet, but not too sweet, which I think is a danger with a mango drink for sure. I loved the smokiness in it that you got from the scotch element. It was like a grilled mango or something. It just makes me think summer.
Islay Scotch is so smart here because Islay Scotch is really, really peaty, and this smoky peatiness is really balancing the sweetness of everything else that's going on in this drink. So it reads like it's going to be really sweet, and then you try and you're like, oh, wow, this tastes really, really well balanced. Really, really smoky, and it's a shaken drink, so it's a little bit lighter. It has that nice fizz on top. A+.
Yeah.
No notes.
Super drinkable. You could put these down real quick.
So that wraps up our segment on the drinks. Let's go on to the food. The food at Vandell is pretty classic bar food. They have some snacks and some appetizers, a couple of salads, and then they have a couple of entrees, a burger, a steak, chicken, things like that. So you can have a full dinner here, or you can just have a few snacks. Stuff like bar nuts and olives if you're just going in for a drink and want something to munch on. It's perfect. But I really thought the appetizers were really fun and unique and very LA.
I just want to say I appreciate there's as much vegetable representation as there is on this menu. That's all.
Fair. So one of our favorite things that we've had on this menu is their chicken liver mousse, which is chicken liver and it has this Fresno garlic condiment on top and some focaccia crackers, which are basically kind of like croutons. This is like chicken liver mousse for beginners, because the condiment that they put on top is really, really flavorful, almost kind of like a sofrito. And it really mellows out the intensity that chicken liver mousse can have sometimes. This is a really good chicken liver mousse.
I thought this was so smart. I've never seen a chicken liver mousse quite like this. I actually feel like the creativity in the chicken liver mousse space is near zero. They're almost all the same, and they're almost all served the same. This was like creativity 100. The condiment on top, the topping, the Fresnos, it was sour, it was a little spicy, it was a little acidic, it was everything. And then underneath you have the richness of the chicken liver mousse that you get when you take a swoop with your little chip. If you come here with someone who says they don't like chicken liver mousse, I would say still get it because they might like this. Another dish we've really enjoyed was the Anchovy Toast, which has chili lime boquerones and arugula pesto, and that's on a country sourdough. And it doesn't say this on the menu, but it also has some pickled Fresno chilies and mustard seed like caviar. I wanted to mention those last two things because I actually really enjoyed those elements and I think they're super essential. I mean, it's a toast. You can picture what that's like. Obviously, it's just stacked up. The boquerones can be a little bit rich, especially, in this chili lime sauce. So the pickled Fresnos and the mustard seed bring in a really nice tart and spicy level. And it really, really makes this toast very enjoyable. The other thing I really like about it actually were the micro herbs on top, which I think are also really smart because pretty much everything on this toast is a preserved food. So it just brings in a very fresh element that you need.
Love an anchovy toast. I will always order any kind of anchovy toast on any menu that I see. I love boquerones, the vinegary and salty, and everything about this is you are going to need a drink with this.
Yeah.
It is perfect to pair with a drink, especially something like a martini, something that's very spirit forward. I don't think this would go well with some of the fruitier drinks on the menu, but if you're drinking super spirit forward cocktails here or a beer, absolutely perfect to order this anchovy toast. Not everyone loves anchovies, but if you do, you're going to be a big fan.
And it's pretty hearty too, so it goes really nicely. These drinks, they are not mild. They are not, they're pretty strong. So you need those calories like the bread in your stomach to soak it up.
And it's really good quality sourdough. They're obviously using a local purveyor of really, really good bread. So kudos to them. This was a really great anchovy toast. I would order it every time I come. Let's talk about these French fries.
Okay.
French fries, Dijonnaise.
This Dijonnaise changed my life.
It's so delicious. It's kind of like a brown butter Dijonnaise. That's kind of what they're selling it as. To me, it tastes like beef stroganoff. That's what it reminds me of. I don't know why. But it's such a different take on French fry accompaniments. Usually you see ketchup or aioli. You don't see a Dijonnaise all that often. This is delicious.
Oh my God, yeah. I didn't know what I was missing, honestly, till I had this, and now I know. Now I want this with everything, and kudos to them. We've ordered French fries both as their own thing, but also with the steak fries that we'll talk about later. And no matter which way you get the fries, it comes with this Dijonnaise, which is proper. That is correct.
Agreed.
I appreciate that.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm going to reiterate my point earlier that if you want to come here and just order these French fries and have a martini, this is absolute perfection. And the fries themselves, really great French fries. You got to have really good French fries at a bar, and they've nailed it.
Perfect level of crispness. Not too blonde, not too dark.
If you're not getting them with the steak frites, the burger, absolutely order fries with burger, right? So the burger, it's a Wagyu patty, and it has Hooks cheddar, some onion jam, some pickles, and special sauce. And the bun is not a normal burger bun. It's kind of like an English muffin. I'm pretty sure it's an English muffin. They don't advertise it. Different take, but really solid bar burger.
I love this burger. It does everything right. It has all those elements that I think of needing to be in a bar burger. It is on the smaller side, I would say, for this type of burger, but I am totally fine with that. I think that works really well for this place and for this menu. I don't want to be eating a huge burger that's going to put me down for hours.
A great bar needs a great burger, and this is a great bar burger.
So the steak, we got the steak fries, and it is a Wagyu flat iron, and it comes with house-made chimichurri. And obviously fries and Dijonnaise. The steak was cooked perfectly. It was very tasty. I loved the chimichurri. I just wanted more of it, but I say that all the time with sauces. That's just the way I am. Not really a knock on them. It was a nice, simple presentation of a good piece of meat that was cooked really well.
And at a pretty decent price point, $36 for steak and some French fries is not bad at all. And we had the burger and we had the steak, and splitting those two things and having some French fries is a really good way to have dinner here. I love that they use flat iron. It's not used as often. It's a cheaper cut, but it is tender and it's got great flavor, and I think it's a really smart choice. Keeps the price point to a reasonable level. They do have 2 desserts if you are craving something sweet, but honestly, I think when you're coming here, there's so many awesome drinks on the menu that drink like desserts that you're better off ordering a sweet and fruity drink that you treat as your dessert. They're on the menu for people that want something sweet, but I feel weird ordering dessert at a bar.
I don't.
That's fair, but I do.
I'll order dessert anywhere I please.
Let's talk about the ambiance, the overall feel. How you feel when you're eating here?
Walking in, it immediately feels cozy. It feels designed. Like I can see where they've made good design choices. The booths are all very large. It looks like a place where you can go with a group and have a really nice night. The bar is very nice. It's pretty big. They have a lot of options around the bar for standing or sitting. And then they also have another like annex room for overflow and more people to sit, which also looks cute. It's almost like cafe-like. So they've got a lot going on. All of it is kind of adorable. They have a mural kind of like around the ceiling of Southern California and Los Angeles city sites that feels specific to place and just like super cute, honestly.
I love the vibe. It just feels like a really great place to hang and drink and eat. The music is really great. The energy there is great. It's packed every time you go. It's a really, really popular place. So it's a scene. You feel the energy there. You feel the positivity. Everyone's happy. Everyone's drinking. It is a really good time. Service?
Yeah, let's talk about the service.
It's hard to really say anything negative about the service here. All of the staff is extremely knowledgeable about the food, the drinks, all the ingredients that are going into it. We've asked many questions like, what's the rhubarb element in here? Or what is this element in here? And everyone has been very, very immediate in their answer. They know the menu from start to finish, and I appreciate that. A place that's this creative, you need to make sure your staff is up and up on what is in all these drinks.
Yes, and that's down to the literal like brand, which is impressive. It's not just, oh, this is a quince liqueur. It's this quince liqueur that you can, Google this. Oh, yeah, that's the one, blah, blah, blah. I thought that was incredibly impressive, especially since the person I asked about the quince was like a floor server, not a bartender. Like he wasn't making the drinks. So definitely they're being educated. And yeah, I thought that was really impressive.
Yeah. The overall food and drinks, as far as how fast they come out, everything comes out really fast here. Part of that is because a lot of the drinks are pre-batched. Any fancy cocktail bar is going to be pre-batching a lot of their drinks, so it's easier and more efficient for them during service. So they're really slinging drinks out of this place. Even though they're extremely complex drinks that take a lot to prepare, a lot of that preparation time we don't feel
Right.
as guests, and that's great. You order a martini, they pour it, boom.
Yes.
You have a martini in under a minute.
Yeah.
Ice cold.
And they have to be doing that. We sat at the bar this most recent time that we went, and the volume is incredible. They would be just incredible. They would be underwater if they didn't pre-batch this stuff. It would be impossible to run this type of bar with this level of ingredients, with this amount of prep. It would just be impossible.
It shows that this place is managed really well, run properly. They know their stuff. They know how to run a tight bar. And you feel it. You feel very, very comfortable and taken care of, and you're never sitting around and waiting. It gets really packed and really busy there. You go there on a Friday night, you might wait a little bit extra time to see a server if you're at the table, but if you're sitting at the bar, you're going to get your drink very quickly after you've ordered it. We've been to a few places with fancy cocktails, and sometimes it takes a little while to get your drink because of the amount of work it takes to make some of these drinks. So in this case, I thought the service was quite stellar. And a final note, the staff all seemed really happy and excited to be there. Everyone has such good energy. Really, really great experience. Before we give our verdict, our rating system for bars with AftertasteLA is 1 to 4 sips. 1 sip is skip it, 2 sips if you're in the neighborhood, 3 sips is worth a trek, and 4 sips, you gotta go. So for Vandell, we are giving them 4 sips. The only bar we've ever given 4 sips to in LA. This is our number 1 bar in LA. Super have to go. I think they are going to fly high and make that top 50 list by next year. Absolutely have to go.
Nothing to add. You gotta go.
Put it on your list. It's in Los Feliz. They don't do a whole lot of reservations. Get there early, get in line, walk in, have a few drinks, and enjoy the ride. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks for the next episode.